Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for being patient. I know we're a little bit behind. If y'all would click that thumbs up, it'll bring more people into the stream. This is where the show starts, and we're going to go ahead and timestamp it right about here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Just Jay at the AFC. The AFC means we advocate for children first. And what I want people to understand is I think I've had a little bit of difficulty getting my message through to people because I notice a lot of people are still attacking me in the comment sections. They are sending wild... There you go. I got you. I got you, Kingdom on it. Let me hook you up there. Hold on. Got to do this real quick. But I'm really, I really don't think my message is that hard to understand. When I say we advocate for children first, what that means is that you guys got to stop coming into my comment section, emailing me, talking about, well, the mom, or well, the dad, or well, the auntie, or well, the stepmom. We advocate for children first. Why aren't people putting children first? That's what I believe is the problem in our society, is the fact that we believe in protecting grown adults and we're not protecting our babies. They are the last on our list, and it just seems like we're in a losing fight. And I think it really, really sucks. But I'm thankful for the people who do get it, but I know that there are a lot of people out there that clearly don't understand what we're trying to do, okay? But nonetheless, this particular story comes out of Chicago, and we've been trying to advocate as best as we can to get people to change their mind and change their thoughts out of Chicago. And I want to give a shout out to Brother Early Walker if he is out there listening. But we brought him on for an interview. He is actually a person who was making real change out there in Chicago, and I want to shout him out. I want to actually give him credit for this. I don't know that he had anything to do with this, but there was a young girl that was 7 years old that was shot, and she is among many children in Chicago that met their demise at the hands of random bullets. In some cases, the parents were actually the targets. In this particular baby's case, is really, really sad. This little girl's name is, they have it written as Natalia Wallace, but I think her name is Natalie. From what I understood from the video, the mom messed up on her birth certificate, and there was an A instead of an E at the very end of her name. So I think it's Natalie Wallace, but they spell it as Natalia. But bail was denied Tuesday for a man accused of shuttling gunmen from the West Side block after a 7-year-old girl was fatally shot during a violent July 4th holiday. Okay? Now, this is a different child than what we spoke of before, but there were a number of kids. So it seems like we're talking about the majority of them, okay? There is an individual that was caught. Let me get his ugly face up on this screen because I want to slap the crap out of him. This guy right here, his name is Reginald Merrill, Reginald, Merrill, Merrill. He is 33 years old. He's very close to my age. This is the guy who drove the people who did the shooting that caused this baby to lose her life. And I'm going to tell y'all how I feel about that before we even get real deep into this story. In my opinion, I know the law is a little different, but in my opinion, if you help people do these heinous crimes, then to me, if you're not going to tell, you saw something and you ain't going to say nothing, then in my opinion, you should have to suffer for what those fools went and did. That baby lost her life, and what happened to her was not fair at all. All right? That's how I feel about it. So if they throw the book at him and he don't want to talk, then so be it. Okay? Reginald Merrill, 33 years old, of the 5600 block of West Washington Boulevard, was charged with first-degree murder and aggravated battery in the death of that little 7-year-old baby. Again, her name is Natalie Wallace, but they have it as Natalia Wallace. He was alleged to be the getaway driver, and authorities say they were looking for 3 other suspects in that car. They got 1 out of 4. Looking for 3 more individuals. He knows who they are, but you know they got this no snitch policy that I think that these thugs really need to do away with, because in my opinion, if you cannot stand up to the heat of judgment, then I don't think you should be doing the stuff that you're doing. Okay? Now, he was taken into custody a little more than a matter of hours ago when the story was released, and police said that driving a car matching the description of the one used in the shooting was how they caught him, which also injured another person. Now, Natalie, who was a resident of Chatham on the south side, was on the sidewalk just after 7 p.m. Saturday in the 100 block of North Latrobe Avenue when a vehicle pulled up and these idiots got out of the car and started shooting towards where this baby was. So clearly this baby was not the target. Let me throw something else out there that might piss some people off. Whoever the target was, which is probably the man that got shot, I think he also should face charges. You know why? Because there's clearly something that he knows why he was the target. And I think that we need to go just a little bit harder. Even if those people are considered to be quote unquote victims legally, I think they need to start charging them as well. Because this whole cycle's got to stop. Because it's just a revolving door. Okay? Now, the judge by the name of Mary Marubio denied bail. She denied this fool's bail, saying that there's a strong circumstantial case against them. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Now, Reginald Merrill allegedly was behind the wheel of the white 2016 Subaru Legacy that was captured on video, thank God for video, at the scene of the shooting. 3 men could be seen getting out of the car. Let me throw something else out there real quick. This is going to piss y'all off too. People always try to tell me, Judge Jay, you got your facts wrong. Yous don't know what you's talking about. You wasn't there. You don't know what actually happened. These boys was good boys. They was on their ways to college and they just graduated and blah, 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 right? That's what they generally say, right? But thank goodness for video evidence that is indisputable. And the fact that when people have video evidence, they still try to lie and say, like they were Shaggy, it wasn't me, right? They were seen on video getting out of the car with handguns, and they opened fire at a 32-year-old man walking on Latrobe. Now, here's the kicker. Are y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for DJ Just Jay to put his coon tap dancing shoes on? Y'all ready for me to tap dance for the white man? Y'all ready for this? The vehicle that they did the drive-by in is registered to Reginald Merrill's girlfriend. Let me let that sink in for a moment. I'm going to take a pause for the cause and remind people, please click that thumbs up. It'll help share the stream and let other people know that we're live. I need about 1,000 people in the building tonight, so I need everybody to pitch in and just click that thumbs up. I'm going to say that again. The car was registered to this thug's girlfriend. Registered to his girlfriend. So what exactly does that mean? That means that she knows that she has a dude who ain't shit. This dude don't have a job. He don't have a future. He out thugging in the streets, getting his thug on, right? Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death, right? That's an AFC hashtag. That's our hashtag. When you date thugs, you date death. And this is what happens. So in my opinion, the other person that should also be held accountable in this case is the person who provided the car that they drove in. Huh? Heller. Am I saying arrest the girlfriend? Yeah, I am saying that. Yeah, I'm saying that. Why would I say that? Because clearly this woman has a means to be able to provide a vehicle for herself, and what she did and her actions and her dating choices and who she decided to sleep with ended up costing a baby her life. Now, if y'all gonna really advocate for children, then you need to start at the root. And if these men are being incentivized by way of sleeping with these chicks, then you need to also take their incentives away. In my opinion, that also is another solution that maybe some of y'all don't like. All right? Now, let's keep going. Baby Natalia, or Natalie, was playing on the parkway with several children. Let me throw that out there again. This baby was outside playing with several children at around 7 p.m. in Chicago on the south side, in front of her grandparents' home when the shooting erupted. and the baby was struck once in the head. Let me show y'all this beautiful baby's face. Right here. Why did this baby need to die? This was senseless and it's stupid. All of the shooting and all of the murdering, I don't care if it's gang related. I don't care what the reason for it is. It's all dumb. There is no excuse for it. And I'm sorry, but if they feel like that that this is just going to be a perpetual cycle, it's just going to keep going, then I think that they need to just get rid of all the thugs, all the gangbangers, all the dope boys, all of them. Get rid of all of them. Throw them all away, in my opinion, because you got to stop it at some point. Now, the shooting appeared to be a retaliation. Like I just said, the shooting was a retaliation for a June 29th shooting that left the brother of one of the 3 gunmen dead. You know what that means to me? If it was the shooting, a retaliation shooting of a brother, then what that means is that they should know who one of the other shooters is. Why can't they get a warrant for him? Why can't they put his picture out there and at least say that he's a person of interest? 8 out of 10 murders in Chicago go unsolved. 8 out of 10, 80%. That literally means they're not making a good enough effort to put these people behind bars. And to me, that's simple. That's simple math. If this is a retaliatory strike, you know what it was, that you could call it a retaliation, and it left the brother of one of the 3 gunmen dead, then to me, that means you know who it was. Let's move on. Reginald Merrill and the gunmen are believed to be members of the Too Risky gang, who believe the killer they sought was from Latrobe. Assistant State Attorney Kevin DeBonnie told the judge. Detectives also located high-quality video from the block that showed the faces of all 3 shooters. How about that? So the people aren't going to tell, but the cameras are going to tell. So I'm thankful that they got cameras, apparently. Now, Reginald Merrill's attorney, Nick Burris, argued that even if his client were the driver, there's no proof that he knew what was going to happen. And again, that's a good argument from an attorney, but here's where you're going to fail. Whenever you have a law that says that if you are in collusion, if you were the driver, then we're going to charge you all with murder if somebody dies. And I think that's a fair rule, especially when you're going to come up with stupid excuses like he didn't know what was going to happen. But let's move on. The judge countered that the gunman exited the vehicle fully armed and that the state law holds accomplices and getaway drivers as being legally culpable. Ain't that something? It's awesome. I'm glad. Now, Wallace acting for the getaway driver for 3 gunmen after the shooting, Marubio said, showed some circumstantial evidence of knowledge of what was going to go down and what was happening. And that's good. And he also has a court date coming up here on July 27th, which is in 3 weeks. He's got a court date coming up, July 27th. Now, court records also show that he has 7 felony convictions. Is this mic working? Can y'all hear me? Hello, AFC, can y'all hear me? I'm going to read that again. Let's rewind. Court records show that the man by the name of Reginald Merrill has not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 felony convictions. Not misdemeanors, 7 felony convictions. Tell me this. I'm going to try to mind my mouth tonight. Woosah, woosah. Tell me this dude is not a thug. Anybody want to argue that he's not a thug and he was a good boy and he didn't know what he was doing and he didn't know what he was getting into? But yeah, Just Jay is the problem. No, my platform needs to be shut down. My voice needs to be shut down. I'm the problem. Even though I don't have any felony convictions, let alone 7. Six of his convictions are drug related. His one violent felony came in 2008 when he pleaded guilty to aggravated battery to a police officer and was sentenced to 4 years in prison. So if this dude has been in that much trouble with the law, you mean to tell me his girlfriend didn't know what he was doing? So if his girlfriend knew what he was doing, then why shouldn't she be held accountable for providing this dude who probably shouldn't have been in a car, probably shouldn't have been driving a car, shouldn't have been a getaway driver, probably shouldn't have a driver's license, but she allowed him to be able to do that knowing that this dude should not have been driving. Why should the girlfriend not be held accountable also? So therefore, you should have not only this dude, the getaway driver, but the 3 men who they saw their faces, get them arrested and arrest the girlfriend. How about that? Get everybody. Following the hearing, Natalie or Natalia's father by the name of Nathan Wallace, and thank God there was a father in this story. The father, Nathan Wallace, said in a press release that he was pleased to hear of the judge's ruling, but he will not rest until the other shooters are brought to justice. Right on, Dad. He said things are headed in the right direction and he knows it's a long road, but he's going to be there every step of the way. It's just more senseless killing and it's heartbreaking. I don't understand anyone who would see kids and still take it upon themselves to shoot. Now, this baby was supposed to start 2nd grade at a place called Crown Community Academy of Fine Arts. And after her killing, the school released a statement. So I'm going to read this and I'm going to show you guys the video. Natalie, or they say Natalia, but Natalie was a very sweet girl and she was very quiet. She completed every assignment during class, got along with her peers, and colored the most precious pictures ever given to me. Natalie never hesitated to ask for clarity when needed. Sometimes her quiet spirit gave her the strength to lead the reading lessons within her group, and she soared when it came to doing math. During her e-learning, Natalie was always present and participating, and at the end of each class session, she would type in the chat box, "I love you." That is a sweet baby, man, and that is so freaking sad that we lost a soul like that. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and let me show you guys the news videos. While y'all are here, please click that thumbs up. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, let's get it.
Yeah, so Robert, we learned about those charges yesterday. A West Side man now charged with murder, the murder of a 7-year-old girl who was shot to death on the 4th of July. But this case is far from over. Detectives still have some work to do because they have to catch up with this man's 3 accomplices. Now, 33-year-old Reginald Merrill, he is now charged with first-degree murder in the death of 7-year-old Natalie Wallace. Natalie was shot and killed on the 4th as she played outside at a family barbecue in the 100 block of North Latrobe in Austin. Now, the little girl was hit in the forehead. Police say Merrill was the driver of a white vehicle which had several men inside. That vehicle pulled up to the home in front of where Natalie was playing. Those men hopped out and opened fire. Her grandmother says the 7-year-old had only been outside just a few minutes before she was hit by gunfire. A 32-year-old man was also shot. Police managed to track that white vehicle and they found Merrill inside. The West Sider was brought in for questioning and charged, also hit with aggravated battery for discharging a firearm. Police say this shooting was gang-related in retaliation for another shooting from several weeks ago, and Natalie was an unintended target. We've been in touch with Natalie's parents since those charges came down, and they want the other men to be arrested and charged. Her mother just arrived here minutes ago by bus from Memphis on Greyhound, and she tells me she plans to take her other 3 children back with her out of Chicago because it's just not safe here.
I'm feeling happy and sad at the same time because my daughter is gone.
They should be turning themselves in, and everybody in the community should be walking them in there.
So Merrill is due in bond court later on this afternoon. Reporting live, Courtney Gooseman, WGN News.
And good evening to you. I'm Lourdes Duarte in for Micah Mater.
And I'm Tamon Bradley. We're continuing to follow breaking news. A man now charged, that's the man right there, with first-degree murder for the shooting death of 7-year-old Natalia Wallace. Police say they are still looking for several other suspects.
And police announced those charges earlier this evening. WGN's Sean Lewis is live with the latest at police headquarters. Sean.
Yeah, Lourdes, that 33-year-old man now charged with first-degree murder. But as you both have alluded to, the job is not done for Chicago detectives in this one case alone, looking for 3 other men involved in the murder of Natalia Wallace. Tonight, new charges against one of the men police say is responsible for the murder of 7-year-old Natalia Wallace.
It's true teamwork.
Police revealing that video from the community gave detectives their first.
Okay, so y'all are hearing that. They said Natalie. So I know they wrote her name as Natalia, and for legal purposes, I put her name as Natalia in the title, but I think her name is supposed to actually be Natalie. But let's keep going. We got a couple of videos. While you guys are here, let's try to get 200 thumbs up. We are at 179 right now. If y'all would, just click that thumbs up. We got almost 300 people here. If nothing else, share the memory of this baby, okay? She was very innocent in this story, and what happened to her was just so wrong. This baby could not defend herself at all. But y'all can share in the memory of her and just click that thumbs up, and it'll help out a lot. So thank you.
Clues in tracking the white car seen in the July 4th shooting in South Austin, leading police to stop and question the driver of that car. 33-year-old Reginald Merrill now charged with first-degree murder.
He eventually invokes his right to remain silent, but prior to doing so, he does admit to possessing the vehicle most of the day. He tries to give a basic alibi that, during the time that he knows and we know when the murder occurred, that he didn't have the vehicle, but the detectives were able to break that alibi.
Investigators believe gang retaliation was the motive for another shooting that happened a few weeks ago. 3 men getting out of that car and shooting at others.
And Dre said, video from the community, but nobody's turning them in. That is correct. And that's one thing that Early Walker had talked about when we had him on for the interview, is the fact that a lot of these people do know what's going on. They know what's happening and don't nobody want to talk. And I thought that's just weird, the fact that you could still be a target. You could still die. And people always talking about, like, I'm a soldier, I'm a ride, and I ain't gonna live on my knees or die on my feet. However that saying goes, basically saying they would stand up and they would fight. They're not gonna lay down and take it. But it seems like when it comes to these thugs and these criminals, these drug dealers, it seems like they just laying down and just taking it right where the sun don't shine. You could end up dead anyway. Why not tell if you're gonna die anyway? That's dumb. Anyway, let's keep going though. I agree with you, bro.
There's a stray bullet hitting little Natalie in the head as she played in her grandma's yard.
I'm feeling happy and sad at the same time because my daughter is gone.
We talked with Natalie's mother tonight on the phone as she boarded a bus to Chicago, knowing that 3 others involved in the shooting are still out there.
I hope they get caught and locked up and also get the penalty.
Already in Chicago, Natalie's dad feels the same.
I'm grateful for that, for the police for moving in quickly and to doing at least one of the offenders in this. The other 3, we want you. We gonna get you. We got one. It's just a matter of time for y'all get caught too.
They should be turning themselves in, and everybody in the community should be walking them in there.
I 100% agree with him. Let's move on to the next video. Matter of fact, let me ask you guys this, because this part is a little long. Do y'all want to hear the full interview from the biological father? Or do y'all want to just see just the short version? Because you'll hear him speak here in a minute. And the biological father's name is Nathan Wallace. He's the father of Natalie. If y'all want to hear that, I'm going to take a vote in the chat. So just tell me what you guys think. Everybody's vote counts. If y'all want to see the full interview, it's about 15 minutes long. If not, then we'll just play the short version.
And we start tonight at 6 o'clock with breaking news. Chicago police just announced charges in the shooting death of 7-year-old Natalia Wallace. She was one of 17 people shot dead over the July 4th holiday weekend.
Let's go live to WGN's Sean Lewis. He's at police headquarters this afternoon. Sean.
Yeah, police just announcing those charges within the last few minutes here at police headquarters. 33-year-old Reginald Lamar Merrill of the west side of Chicago is now charged with first-degree murder in the killing of that 7-year-old girl on the 4th of July, standing outside of her grandmother's home playing when she was shot in the head. Police going into some detail about how they were able to make this arrest.
Immediately after this occurred, detectives went to work, and their investigation revealed, through the use of some video, they saw the white vehicle, and working with our SDSC rooms in the 15th district, once again, using technology, they tracked this vehicle all over the district, and they eventually got a license plate on this vehicle, at which point the SDSC room sergeant, working with the tactical officers, put a stop on this vehicle in a safe manner, at which point they arrested the individual in the vehicle.
Another violent weekend, deadly for far too many and far too young.
Jesus, help us, Father.
The grief-stricken family of 7-year-old Natalia Wallace, shot in the head while playing outside in the yard of her grandmother's home in South Austin.
He got sucked, this killer. These are Anna's kids. She was only 7 years old. She smiles. She always tells me, I love you.
Hers is one of dozens of families impacted by shootings during the holiday weekend, a majority of them happening late Saturday into early Sunday. At least 87 shot, 17 killed, including 8 people shot in Inglewood at one time, at least 4 people killed among them, including Bernardo Jones Jr., who was just 14.
87 people shot is never acceptable.
Chicago's mayor and police superintendent today questioned on the strategy to flood streets with more than 1,000 additional officers for the 4th of July weekend. Those with guns are still killing, often shooting into large crowds.
20-month-olds and 7-year-olds and 13-year-olds being shot with impunity. There's no regard for innocence in the crowds as these criminals shoot to kill.
I sincerely pray on behalf of a grieving city that you are able to recognize the consequences of what you've done, the souls you have ruptured.
These strategies has been done over and over again before.
Victims advocate Andrew Holmes sees the pain in each family impacted. The solution, he says, is not in more policing.
We need to get to the root of the problem, get deep inside of these homes, block by block, house by house, find out the help that the individuals need.
It is a strategy too late for the family of Florentino Carranza. He was shot at 26 in Karlov last week while talking with a neighbor. He died on Saturday.
We depend on the police, so hopefully, they do the right thing, investigate how they're supposed to, and, get these people behind bars.
Back to the Natalia Wallace case now. First look at the photo, the mugshot of the suspect in custody, 33-year-old Reginald Lamar from the west side of Chicago. Reginald Lamar Merrill from the west side of Chicago, charged now with first-degree murder. Chicago police also saying that they suspect that Reginald was actually the driver in this situation, in the shooting on Sunday, and that they are still looking for 3 other people who were inside of that car, possibly. Those are the ones who did the shooting. For now, we are live at Chicago Police Headquarters. Sean Lewis, WGN News.
It hurts broken. It hurts me that my youngest daughter is no longer here, that is 7 years old, that I would not be able to talk to her, hold her, tell her anything, her bedtime stories, anything. Y'all robbed me of that.
The father of 7-year-old Natalia Wallace was surrounded by family and neighbors in Austin on the sidewalk where his little girl was shot and killed last night. He had just dropped her off at her grandmother's house for a 4th of July party.
I left off the block maybe 10 minutes. To get a call that one of your babies shot.
I couldn't do nothing. My baby was laying on that ground. It just take a minute, Jesus.
As adults were barbecuing and children playing outside, gunfire erupted around 7 o'clock in the 100 block of North Latrobe.
We've got some good video. What we know is that 3 males exited a white vehicle and fired in the direction of that family.
Natalia Wallace was shot in the forehead, rushed to Stroger, where she died.
She smiles. She always tells me, I love you.
I'll buy anything she asks me to buy. 'Cause I love that little girl, okay? I'll never be the same again.
Leading into the holiday weekend, Chicago police announced the deployment of an additional 1,200 officers per day to try to combat gun violence.
They should have been on the corners of these high areas of violence, of where it happens at. That's where they should have been. That's where the 1,200 should have been. Amen. That's where they should have been.
Tonight, a group of men marched down this West Side street where children drew messages of love in chalk for this latest victim, who loved art, math, the outdoors, and her family. It's the third consecutive weekend in Chicago where children have been shot and killed.
It gotta stop. It gotta stop. What the hell are we thinking? If black lives don't matter to us, how in the hell is it supposed to matter to anybody else?
Thank you. I agree.
Natalie Wallace had just finished first grade at Crown Community Academy of Fine Arts Center. Her father tells us he has 3 other children, one of them with special needs, and that he is a single father. He is hoping.
That was the biological father. Let me see if I can get his full video up here. Okay. Here we go, guys. Y'all say y'all want to hear it. And I agree with him on that last part, saying black lives gotta matter to us. But when he was talking about where they should have been posted up at so this didn't happen, you gotta point the finger at yourselves.
I'll rob me of that.
Yes, yes.
And for somebody to do that is just straight coward. Now,
Turn
I would
yourself
hope
in.
you would turn yourself in,
in.
but 9 times out of 10,
yourself
you know they're
in.
not going to do that. So
Turn
I
yourself
just
in.
pray that the police do their job and find the
Please.
person that killed my daughter. I mean, it's sad. You hear this on the news every day that a child getting killed, somebody getting
Every
killed,
day.
but
Every
you don't
day.
think about it until it's your own.
To it's your own.
And for me to feel the pain that I feel now, for me to have 3 other kids I got to take care of by myself, and we're not having my youngest daughter around, it hurts me. It hurts that somebody can rob somebody of somebody's life like that and don't think twice about it. All I can do is just pray to God. It's real sad. And I just pray that the police find who did this, because we really need justice.
We do.
And all these police officers that's supposed to be out here on the streets,
What
why
about
wouldn't the police?
1,200 that was deployed? That was supposed to
Why
have been
when somebody
deployed
sitting on the block, they
according to,
know which
Mr.
block
Brown
is hot.
and,
Why is it doubling like that? That's just one video. I don't know why it's doing that, y'all, but let's keep going.
What's going on?
So my thing is, they should have been on the corners of these high areas of violence, of where it happens at. That's where they should have been. That's where the 1,200 should have been.
Amen.
That's where they should have been. So where was the 1,200? I can't see it. They wasn't here. That's where they should have been, on these high-risk corners where this violence is being taken place. That's real talk. That don't make no sense. They should have been here. They should have been on this block, on all these blocks in Inglewood, South Side, East Side, West Side. Come on, really? I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm hurt. Lord have mercy. This gotta change. It gotta stop. It gotta stop. What the hell are we thinking? If black lives don't matter to us, how in the hell is it supposed to matter to anybody else? That's what I want to know. What the hell? That was my niece.
Life cut short.
Come on, man. Come
No
on.
reason.
Come
No
on.
reason.
Come
If
on.
she can't have a family because somebody on these streets want to take her life.
Then I robbed of that.
You
But
robbed her
everything.
of anything she
Everything. Everything. As far as, according to me, she could be the next president, the next mayor, the next governor.
Anything. And now, today, we don't know. All I want now
This
is
is
the
sad.
killers to be
Now that
brought
we
to
get all the
justice.
cameras now, when the light
Anybody
is
that know
actually lost.
anything, please,
Where we
please.
all at before this?
My family is hurting,
Where
and
y'all
I
at?
would
We
love
on the
for
corners
somebody
on the
to
street.
give us any tips.
The fuck?
And like I said, it's so sad that the whole family had to come together for my daughter to be dead. I mean, Yeah, she gone. It's ridiculous.
Because it ain't
It's
getting through
ridiculous.
nobody motherfucking head.
No,
I'm talking
it's
about these
not.
niggas with these guns. I'm
It's
talking
not.
about these dope boys. I'm talking about these motherfuckers, young black men. Wake up. Get an education. Do something with yourself. Did Obama show you that? Come on now.
Nothing. They ain't teach nothing.
Come on
They
now.
ain't learn nothing.
Ask for the streets to provide the killer.
About your daughter, what did she want to do? What was she like? What did she enjoy
I mean,
doing?
she was fun,
She was
loving,
regular
caring.
child.
I mean, she
She
played
was
around. She did
average.
most things that most kids would do. She like drawing, coloring. I mean,
She was out here playing and got shot and killed. Doing what kids do outside playing.
Yeah.
Outside being a child. You can't even be a kid no motherfucking more.
no.
In these areas.
It used to be different way back in the day. I mean,
Man.
you ain't hear about kids getting killed, women getting killed.
Rarely.
I
Really.
mean,
Now it's an everyday
nowadays,
occurrence.
don't
Every
nobody gonna fuck.
motherfucking
You have
day.
your kid walking
We
down the
tired.
street. If they want to shoot you, they gonna shoot you
That's
regardless.
crazy.
And
At least get your target if
it's
you don't
angry.
do
It
it.
pisses me off.
Innocent
to know
lives
this.
getting lost, killed our kids.
To see this every day, and then for one to be your own, I mean, it hit home a little different, you know.
Ask for
Week
the
after week,
streets
we're
to
covering
deliver.
these crimes involving kids. What dreams did you have for your daughter?
I just wanted her to grow up. I just wanted her to have a chance at life. I mean, whatever she wanted to do, anything, I was gonna be there 100%. But I mean, now that story ended. That story was gone
It's
yesterday
over
on the
with.
4th.
7 years
To
old.
see my daughter on the table with a gunshot wound to the forehead, I mean, that'll change somebody's life, though. I got 3 other kids that's older than her. Now I got one that's autistic. And you know, she need multiple care around the clock.
Single
and
dad.
for me to go through that and then to have one of my babies just snuffed from under me, I mean, how would you feel? I mean, what would you go through? I mean, it's a lot of shit. Shit don't hit home until it hit one of y'all people. Like today, my daughter's on the news and everything. Next day it'll be another person. And then next day it's another person. I mean, when was this gonna have to stop? Now, if this ain't gonna stop, it's gonna be a continued cycle of the same shit over and over. I'm sorry for the language, all this, but if you feel how I feel, I mean, it's ridiculous. And then
no time to be nice. They
It's
wasn't
just-
nice. They wasn't nice. That gunman was not nice to my motherfucking niece. Fuck that.
okay, I had. No, it's just kids outside. They was enjoying themselves as kids supposed to do anyway. Yeah, on top of that, the 4th of July. Anyway, I had dropped my kids off 2 days prior. They was spending the little weekend with their auntie and stuff. You know, I got full custody of all 4 of my kids. So when they want to go see the other side of their family, I got no problem with it. On this occasion, it was a tragedy. And I mean, the things that happened that day, I was with her. I talked to her, I hugged her. I mean, everything a father's supposed to do. I leave, I think I left off the block maybe 10 minutes to get a call that one of your babies shot. And then nobody tell me who. I'm sitting there guessing as I'm racing over here to find out that my youngest daughter is dead. You know, anybody that can do this has no heart. And for somebody that can do that to a young child that has so much potential, and I mean, I love her. I mean, I thought she said she with family, she with kids, she run around playing. When I was young, we can run around play. I can go 3-4 blocks down to the store and come back without a harm, not a hair touch to me. Nowadays, the kids can't even walk three houses down without getting killed, you know, snatched up. Some have to give in Chicago. And I pray that Lori Lightfoot and the chief of police get together and put something together to stop this. 'Cause, I mean, at the end of the day, at the end, our future is getting hurt. And with our future getting hurt, how is America going to be later on in life? So with this being said, everybody put the guns down. I'm so hurt. Anybody know anything about my daughter's death, please contact. And with that being said, I'm so sorry, and I'm thankful for everybody that came out. It's just a messed up thing. It's just messed up.
You want to say something to those people that did this?
People that did, to tell you the truth. All right, sir. The people that did this, I feel sorry for you. Only thing I say, I hope the police get you before karma do, because karma is a bitch. And with that being said, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
How do you spell her name?
All right, guys, I think that was the majority of it. I think.
I need to spell Natalie's name so you can make sure.
Yeah, that was the majority of that. Let me go ahead and take this one off. And let me see how many people we still got here. Okay, we got 330 people. Guys, let's try to get 300 thumbs up. We're about to wrap up here in just a moment, okay? Here we go.
The community will come forward and help police solve his daughter.
Michelle Rogers describes her daughter as a little grown adult.
Very smart, very intelligent, very happy kid, very happy spirit.
She says a mix-up on her birth certificate caused her name to be spelled with an A instead of an E, leading people to believe her name was Natalia when she intended it to be Natalie. Rogers arrived in Chicago via bus this morning from Memphis and spoke with our Courtney Guzman about the untimely death of her second youngest daughter at the hands of a gunman who fired wildly into a group of people gathered for a family barbecue on the 4th of July at her great-grandmother's home in the Austin neighborhood.
I can't believe this. My baby? You gonna shoot my baby in the head. You know, I'm just hurt, very hurt.
Police arrested 33-year-old Reginald Merrill 2 hours after the shooting after identifying him and his car from surveillance video as being the getaway driver. In court, prosecutors say 3 gunmen got out of Merrill's car and opened fire on the crowd, killing Natalie and injuring another man in the ankle. Police believe the shooting was in retaliation for the murder of one of the gunmen's brother, who had been killed days earlier. Rogers says she has a lot of questions, mainly who were they firing at and who are the other 3 people involved in the shooting, specifically the gunman who killed her baby.
I'm just in shock, and I'm lost right now, but without my daughter.
Again, police continue to look for those 3 gunmen, but they do have high-quality surveillance video that clearly shows their faces. Reginald Merrill will be back in court on July 27th.
She left out the house 2 minutes, and then I came down here. My grandbaby laying on that ground down there.
The grandmother of 7-year-old Natalia Wallace was inconsolable.
I don't know what to do. And man, I couldn't do nothing.
Recalling the anguished moments she found the child crumpled to the ground, bleeding, having been shot in the forehead.
I couldn't do nothing. My baby was laying on that ground. It just take a minute, Jesus. Help us, Father.
62-year-old Shelley Fulton, the child's great-great-aunt, was there too for a family 4th of July get-together.
And I jumped the flight of stairs to come downstairs. I found my baby laying here. And I'll never be any good until this is, they gotta stop this killing. These are innocent kids. She was only 7 years old.
Chicago police detectives say the gunfire erupted at around 7 o'clock Saturday night in the Austin neighborhood on the city's west side.
We gotta be tired of this, because damn it, I'm tired of it.
CPD Chief of Operations Fred Waller was exasperated and infuriated, but he said the attack was caught on camera.
We've got some good video. What we know is that 3 males exited a white vehicle and fired in the direction of that family.
This is week in, week out. We got to get to the root of this problem.
An emotional Andrew Holmes, the typically stoic crisis responder, was beside himself.
This is the 3rd week we have lost a baby. But somebody on the street in this city of Chicago know who discharged that weapon and took the child's life.
I never get the chance to hug her, let her know that I love her.
The girl's father, Nathan Wallace, had just come from the Cook County Medical Examiner's office, where he identified the body of his 7-year-old daughter. He found messages written in chalk and a memorial of balloons and teddy bears, where less than 24 hours ago, Natalia was playing with her cousins.
I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm sad, disappointed. It's something that no parent wants to do. I mean, who wants to bury their child? It should be the other way around.
Natalia, known as Natalie to her friends and family, told her classmates, quote, "I love you," at the end of each school day. She loved art, math, the outdoors, and her family.
She smiles. She always tell me, I love you. I buy her anything she asks me to buy. Because I love that little girl, okay? I'll never be the same again.
And tonight, the family is calling for the killers to turn themselves in. They say they will not rest until they get justice for Natalia. The family is also asking the Chicago police to send more officers to patrol this neighborhood, not fewer.
Good evening, I'm Dave Savini. Jim has the night off. We begin with staggering numbers after an incredibly violent holiday weekend in Chicago. More than 70 people shot, 13 killed, including 2 children. Let's get right to CBS 2's Marissa Parra joining us live from the 15th Police District in the Austin neighborhood. Marissa.
Dave, police are still looking for leads after 7-year-old Natalia Wallace was shot in the forehead. She was playing outside while waiting for the fireworks to start. I spoke with family members who were there with her in her final moments. Natalia Wallace loved math. She loved to draw. She loved being outside, just like a 7-year-old.
Kids outside playing, they shouldn't have to worry about guns and people shooting.
But it was while she was playing outside on the 4th of July that she was fatally shot in the head. Shelley Fulton, who was like a third parent to Natalia, rubbed her back in her final moments.
And I jumped the flight of stairs to come downstairs. I found my baby laying here. She was only 7 years old. She smiled. She always tell me, I love you. I buy anything she asks me to buy. So I love that little girl, okay? I'll never be the same again.
Shootings coincided with the 4th of July fireworks across the city this weekend. Overnight, 2 mass shootings. In North Lawndale, as fireworks went off, 6 people shot, including teenage boys. Over in Englewood, 8 people shot at a gathering, including a 14-year-old boy who died.
We talk about Black Lives Matter, but at the end of the day, we killing each other off. We killing our babies.
It's a tired headline.
And I hope y'all notice that. It's more and more people out there that are finally saying that Black Lives Matter, but it's us killing us. And I 100% agree. I'm glad they're finally starting to say it.
Chicago. 2 weeks ago, 3-year-old Makai James shot and killed in South Austin. Last weekend, 1-year-old Sincere Gaston shot and killed in Englewood. Hours after that, 10-year-old Lena Nunez shot and killed in Logan Square. Natalia's parents saw these faces and never imagined that their own 7-year-old Natalia would become one of them.
I mean, who wants to bury their child? It should be the other way around.
Natalia will never make it to 2nd grade at Crown Academy, but her family says the least we can do is to keep her name and spirit alive.
We can't bring her back, but we want justice.
Yes.
We definitely want justice. Justice for Natalie.
Justice for Natalie.
Justice for Natalie.
Within the hour, President Trump mentioned recent recent shootings in Chicago in a tweet. Again, that was just penned within an hour, and this is just over a week after he penned a letter to Illinois Governor Pritzker and Chicago's Mayor Lori Lightfoot calling for, quote, law and order. We're live from Chicago's 15th Police District. I'm Marissa Parra with CBS 2 News. Dave?
Troubling news for sure. Thank you, Marissa.
We're following breaking news on the city's west side. A 7-year-old girl is the latest young victim of violence after being shot during a 4th of July celebration.
WGN's Dana Rebick is at Stroger Hospital with more. Dana.
Well, really, this is just an absolutely devastating story. We had been hopeful earlier today, this morning, and even this afternoon that we had not heard of any children shot yet this holiday weekend until this incident tonight. Here is some video from the scene just a little earlier this evening. This all happened around 7 o'clock in the 100 block of North Latrobe in the Austin neighborhood. A 7-year-old girl was on the sidewalk playing at her grandmother's house with other family members for a 4th of July party. Witnesses tell us people were barbecuing. There were lots of kids running around, riding their bikes up and down the sidewalk when a white-colored vehicle pulled up. 3 offenders got out and started shooting in this little girl's direction. Police tell us over 20 rounds were fired approximately 50 feet away from the girl. Witnesses say they did see another man running away who may have been the intended target. Now, once police were on scene, they attempted to revive this child, and then she was rushed here to Stroger, where she died. We could see some of her family members distraught outside the emergency room, where we saw community activist Andrew Holmes consoling the girl's father. Now, this is the 3rd weekend in a row where we have seen children caught and killed in the crossfire in Chicago. Now, with the boom of 4th of July fireworks sounding off in the background, Chicago police's top brass tonight say they have had enough.
Chicago, Austin.
I don't know how they do their jobs and they hear all them fireworks out there. It's just, that's got to be in. Matter of fact, it's got to be outlawed. It's got to be illegal to have fireworks in Chicago. That ought to be outlawed. That's insane.
You got to be tired of this. Chicago's heart gets broken again.
Chicago should not be one of those places that gets the privileges of celebrating anything regarding to letting off fireworks. I just don't like that.
Austin's heart gets broken again. We got to be tired of this, because damn it, I'm tired of it. On a day when families should be celebrating, having a good time, spending time together, a 7-year-old girl was taken from us.
There is a second victim tied to this incident, a 32-year-old man who was shot in the ankle and grazed in the leg. He's self-transported to Mount Sinai Hospital in fair condition. Tonight, no one yet is in custody. Live at Stroger, Dana Rebick, WGN News.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the news portion. Let me give you guys my closing thoughts. And again, man, I want to say thank you guys so much for listening to this stream. And like I said, just sharing the memory of this baby. And all we could do at this point is get her justice. And since they have those 3 faces on camera, and since the fact that they know that one of those people participated in this shooting because they were committing a retaliatory strike because of somebody in their family that had died, and also to his girlfriend who provided him the car, to me, I think that should be 4 more arrests that they should be making. I think they should add the girlfriend to that list. And y'all let me know if y'all feel like that's right or wrong, okay? So let me go ahead and give you guys my closing thoughts. Just to let you guys know, these are 4 children, including this baby that we're talking about in the focus of this story, and they are all out of Chicago, and all of these kids' lives matter. But I will tell you one thing that is promising to me is now I'm starting to hear the people that actually live in that area, and what they are saying is that Black Lives Matter have to matter to us. Black Lives Matter have to matter to us. We can't just go focus on Ahmaud Arbery and then focus on George Floyd and then focus on whoever else. Focus on 5 people when you've got 105 that are dying by the hands of people who look just like us. It's absolutely insane that we worry about 1 or 2 people and just be like, all right, well, let's just screw those 13,000 that's dead at the hands of somebody that look just like us. It doesn't make any logical sense. It never has. But I can at least give kudos to the people out there in Chicago for recognizing that, stepping up, speaking out, seeing something and saying something. You guys got to do better out there. We all got to do better in our own communities, in our own ways. But it just seems like Chicago has a lot more work cut out for them than a lot of us around the world. But nonetheless, this baby couldn't speak for herself, nor could she defend herself. And she was a prisoner in her own home, in the city and block that she lived in. And it's a shame that you got people like this out there in the world that they act emotional. And I always told you guys that I believe that a lot of these men do not value other lives because they do not value themselves, because they did not grow up in a home that had a father figure in the home. Therefore, they didn't see something that they should want to grow up and become. So since they didn't have that positive example, then they don't value anybody else. And this type of thing is going to continue to keep going forward as long as we continue to produce these babies outside of the social construct of wedlock. I don't think it's a perfect construct, but I do think it's a construct that worked for us. Let's see, since Black people have been in America, since we've been able to legally get married, it seems like it's been a good thing for us to do. Now, I know a lot of other communities have problems like ours in a manner of speaking, maybe not to this extent, but I think everybody watching across the world can use these stories and relate to them, and they can use them to make their own communities better. Again, I want to show some respect and put some respect on this baby's name. Her name was, let me get him off my screen. I don't want to see his face anymore. Let's see if I can get him off of my screen. Give me a moment. Matter of fact, let me give a shout out to the biological father, at least being seen and speaking out and saying something. That's definitely a good thing. Okay. But this baby deserved a chance, and she didn't have a chance, especially living in Chicago. And guess what? The majority of the children in Chicago don't stand a damn chance right now. So do what you got to do. Get them up out of there. If you care that much, move. Do something. Because you got fools out here who look like, I don't know what he looks like. He looks like a demon. He really, truly looks like a demon. Real weird looking dude, man. I don't know. This type of thing has got to stop. Throw the book at him. Go get his friends. And then go get his girlfriend. Lock all their asses up. This is your boy DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC, where we advocate for our babies first. From my heart to yours. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to this story. That's the end of our stream. Peace.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses, like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-sized masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford?
And don't run off yet, guys. I'm going to shout out the people who donated. I'm going to shout out everybody who donated. We got PayPal and Cash App if you guys still want to hit those links. Don't run off yet. I'm going to shout out everybody who donated in Super Chat too, okay? I'm going to do that right after this commercial.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us on Tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com. Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbag, shoes, and accessories, where we have